let's talk about how we can make that mentor relationship successful.
That's a good question. You have to value your mentor's time. They're giving you either 30 minutes or an hour. So being cognizant of that, preparing either questions or distilling your thoughts, or if you need some help, being a little bit more crystal clear. Sometimes it might be even a presentation that you go. So, but definitely that needs to be care around that. And I have to tell you, I have not always done that. It's become something I've learned over time. So definitely invest in that portion as well. So you make the most out of your relationship.
The other thing I've noticed about these relationships is that the more context you give your mentor on your near term, long term goals, the better they're able to help you. Or even if you don't have all that crystallized, even if you ask more specific questions, you actually get better answers. For example, we had a formal program in school and I was a mentor. One of the mentees would ask me very general questions like, how do you deal with change? What does balance mean to you? And these are great questions, but I would struggle to answer in a very specific way to help her because I had no context of why she's asking me that. So we would have this great conversation about change management and work-life balance and those type of things. And we would go from that conversation, but I wasn't really sure if it was helping her move in a certain direction. So I feel like in times like that, if you have a little more specific questions and prepare ahead, it helps the mentor help you better. So Siri, let's switch topics here and talk a little bit about how to give back to a mentor. It doesn't have to be a one-sided relationship, right?
Absolutely. So, two examples come to mind in the recent past. In one case, I saw a board position come across and I forwarded it to my mentor and basically had a discussion with her and if she was interested in board position. So, it lent itself to a very different conversation. To tell the truth, I don't know if she's applied for it or she's venturing out, but it helps you feel like you're also giving something back in the relationship. In another case, with the other mentor, she was having a problem that she was trying to solve in her group, and she asked if there were any solutions or ideas, that we were just bouncing around. About 6 to 9 months later, she acknowledged saying that the discussion helped her create a framework in her organization that they were just able to fan out. So there are so many ways you can give back to your mentors. Even if you're new to a company or in a place, there might be things you have learned. You might know the technology. There are various avenues that you will be able to. And sometimes it might just be asking them, is there any help you need? And even that question might generate that discussion.
Sometimes you can just give back by becoming a mentor too. I did it after my first formal program and continue to do it in some form or other. And I think all of us do pass it on. In every day at work, we do give back in some way. But another thing that I also think works is going back after many years and thanking your mentors because sometimes their advice takes years for you to apply and reach your goals. And going back and remembering them after many years is probably all that they need. Like somebody saying thank you, that makes their day. In all honesty, I feel like I don't do this enough. I help people all the time on a day-to-day basis, but I don't necessarily go back and say thank you enough. I thank them enough then, but I think I should do that more. That's my takeaway from our episode today.
Absolutely. We should remember to go back and thank our mentors. They all have a significant impact on our careers and in life in general. Today on our episode, we have talked in depth about mentorship. Usha, can you leave our listeners with some food for thought as we wrap up this episode?
Three things come to mind as I think of today's conversation. The first thing, mentors come in all forms and shapes. So we can choose formal programs, informal relationships, or even colleagues or managers at work. And the second thing that comes to mind is it helps to set yourself up for success by preparing well and also providing context for your discussions with a mentor. I really think the SWOT analysis or any other tool that helps to set a context for yourself, it will be very helpful. The third thing that comes to mind is that we can all give back by becoming mentors at actually any stage in the career. You can even mentor college students. That's a good way to give back. And then going back and saying thank you to the mentors or finding some opportunities that we can help them with. That's a great way to give back. So those would be the main things that I would think are takeaways from our episode. So go ahead, try the SWOT analysis or find a mentor if you don't have one, or even volunteer to be a mentor. Just don't swim alone, especially if you're going through a big change in life or at work.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Tune in every other Wednesday to catch the next episode. If you think a friend may benefit from this, please share this podcast with them. All the resources we talked about are also available on my website, womencareerandlife.com. Please like, subscribe, and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. I would love to hear from you about your stories and your journey. You can reach me on my blog, Twitter, Instagram, or Gmail at Women, Career and Life. Until next time, this is Sirisha signing off. Remember, there are infinite possibilities to drive change in career and life. Which will you choose to make a reality today?